What is up guys, it's your boy Solheim here, back with another Classic WoW video for Cataclysm Classic. Now, today I want to talk a little bit more about gold making, and I want to talk about the shift that is happening recently, with a lot of materials going down in price, the whole supply versus demand aspect. I mean, the prices have been going down on a lot of supplies, whether that is herbs, mining veins, whatever it is, the prices have been going down quite a bit, and I want to talk about my personal shift in gold making, how I'm looking at things. And for example, Darkmoon Faire has closed now, which means that the value of herbs has gone down quite a lot, because they were really valuable at the start, because we had both the raids coming out, we had the Darkmoon Faire being available, and now we have 5 weeks of no Darkmoon Faire, which has absolutely crashed the prices of herbs, and that in return has led to the questions that people have been asking: why? Like, why are all the materials going down? And the simple reason is, it's a supply versus demand metric. At the start of the expansion, like, we're exiting the honeymoon phase now. The start of the expansion, everything is expensive. People are skilling up professions, they're getting ready for raids, they're getting pre-raid biz, they're getting their enchants, they're getting their alchemist set up. There's a rush to get things done, which also means the prices of everything is really like all over the place, and you can make 15,000 gold per hour just by farming. That time is kind of over now. We're looking more about 5 to 10k depending on what you're doing and depending on like what you're farming. Herbalism farming, for example, has gone from being 15k down to about 5k, probably even less on some servers out there. So the values have gone down quite a bit, and I want to talk about my personal shift, what I'm doing now to make gold, and keep you in the loop. As always, I do have a Cataclysm gold making guide, which you can check out through a link down below, where you get even more inside information to what I'm doing to make gold, and you get early access to gold making videos, gold farming videos, and all of that information as well, helping you make the most gold possible in this expansion. Now, personally, I've gone from farming gold to now setting up alts to make gold that way. So instead of farming gold, I now have 5 alchemists set up, which I'm on one of them right now, and instead of doing true gold transmute, because true gold, the materials by themselves cost the same as the true gold transmute, meaning all the profit you make will come from proccing with transmute master. If you're not a transmute master, you don't make anything. So basically what I've done here is I've started crafting transmute living elements instead of doing true gold, because this guarantees me about 300 to 400 gold every single day per alchemist without any problems selling the materials at all. And by being in Uldum, you're guaranteeing volatile air every single time, so you're turning volatile life into volatile air. Now, once again, I have 5 alchemists set up with this, so I'm making about 1,500 gold every single day by just logging into the game, pressing a button 5 times, and even though 1.5k might not be a lot, that is giving me 1 WoW token every single week, allowing me to play the game technically for free. By clicking 1 button 5 times every single day, it takes me like a couple of minutes, and there we go. That's an easy way to make some gold right there. And with the lower prices now of herbs, skilling up alchemy is also super cheap. Another thing that I'm personally doing is I have 2 Jewelcrafters set up to do the daily quest. Now, the daily quest gives you 1 jeweler's token, which you can spend on Chimera's Eye, which is selling for once again 300 to 400 gold on my server, giving me 300 to 400 gold per day per Jewelcrafter. And skilling up Jewelcrafting is also super cheap. You can make profit while skilling it up by making gems. So for the most part, you either get the gold back, or you sometimes even make a profit while skilling up, and then you start raking in 300 to 400 gold every single day by clicking a button or doing 1 quest that takes you about 30 seconds to do. Now, I also have 2 tailors set up, and for me, tailoring is actually where the bigger profit comes in. I am making about 5,000 gold per week per tailor in profit. So I'm making all of the dream cloth that I can, except for the chaos orb ones, which gives me 5 dream cloth per week. Now you can either choose to make spell threads with this, which you can do right here by buying the recipe for the powerful ghostly spell thread, which I bought because I had 1 leftover dream cloth this week, so I wanted to just have something to spend that on, so I bought that one. And I'm also making dreamless belt. 4 dream cloth equals 1 dreamless belt, and I can make 5 dream cloth every single week. That gives me 1 belt and 1 spell thread. Now overall I'm spending about 500 gold, give or take, on the dream cloth. Some are more expensive, some are cheaper, but overall it's about 400 to 500 gold per dream cloth, which also means I'm selling this belt for about 7,000. It costs me 2,000 to make, so I'm making 5,000 gold every single week only by making this belt. Now that being said, it's a 359 item level BOE, so the profits on this will go down every single week as the price goes down as well, but you can still make profit by simply selling the spell threads, or you can spend the dream cloth that you get on recipes to make something better than the belt. You can, for example, make the breaches of Mended Nightmare and sell those instead. They give you critical strike, haste, intellect, stamina, and a red socket. It's a pretty good BOE legs, so you can even buy this one and start making this one as well. That one requires 6 dream cloth though, but overall tailoring has been doing me really well. It is kind of cheap to skill up now. It used to be expensive, but the volatiles have gone down in price by a lot, and so has the Ember Silk cloth. So skilling up tailoring right now, super cheap. You usually make the gold back the first week, and then you start raking in some profits. Apart from that, another thing that I'm doing for gold making, right here. The thing is, I don't usually like sitting on gold, even though I'm sitting on 5 Darkmoon card volcanoes right now and 322,000 gold. I am always looking at the prices of certain items, and my mailbox is full of items I've been buying, so I'm always looking to use the gold that I have to make more gold and buy things when they're cheap. Now, we talked about this earlier in this video. Darkmoon Faire is currently not available. It has been unavailable for a week, and it doesn't come back until July 7th. This gives us a couple of interesting buying opportunities, because when the Darkmoon Faire is not here, people are still making cards, but you can't turn those decks in for trinkets. So this gives you the chance of finding some very cheap cards on the auction house, and to be clear, I am not saying buy these now. I am saying keep them in mind. Now, on my server I found 2 of stones for 80 gold, and we have 8 of stones for 130 gold. You can sometimes get a deck for under 700 gold. And the thing about these decks is that you can turn those into Darkmoon card Earthquakes, the trinket, and sell that for 10 times the price of the deck right now. That being said, the deck can't be handed in right now, so that's why the trinkets are really valuable, and the decks are not that valuable. That being said, even though the cards might not be the best, they can be disenchanted into a Maelstrom Crystal. As you can see here, Maelstrom Crystal is 2.3k, and the deck price, you can get them once again down to 700 gold. You need 8 cards. If you can get all 8 for 80 gold each, that is 640 gold for a Maelstrom Crystal. And the thing is, when disenchanting these trinkets, they can even proc multiple crystals. I have seen them proc 2 crystals, so they give you more than 1 each sometimes. It's probably more like 1.2 each or something like that, but the point is you can disenchant them and get more than 1 crystal. So my point with this tip right here is that if you have gold and you want to use the gold you have to make more gold, look at the prices of those cards while Darkmoon Faire is not available, because those cards will be super cheap right now, but the second the Darkmoon Faire becomes available again, or we get closer to Darkmoon Faire, those prices will absolutely skyrocket. And the same thing goes for the Embers. The thing is, the Darkmoon card Volcano is super expensive right now, and it's going to be bis until phase 2. We are still several months away from phase 2. This gives you some really good buying possibilities for the Embers cards. You can pick up a Volcano deck right now for under 15,000 gold. Yes, under 15,000 gold. So you have to ask yourself, will the card be selling for more than that on your server? And the thing is, once again, Darkmoon Faire is still 4 weeks away, so don't just go in and blindly buy these now. but monitor the prices, see how they move. If the prices keep going down, you can secure yourself a really cheap trinket, either for personal use or reselling value. You can pick them up super cheap right now, and the second Darkmoon Faire becomes available, you can hand in those decks and sell the trinkets. So take a look at the prices this weekend, like I'm going to be uploading this on Friday, I think. Take a look at the prices this weekend, even next week as well, and see how the prices of these decks or the cards actually move. Now, one more thing you can do if you have gold and you want to make gold, or use the gold you have to make more gold in the flipping market right here. Take a look at the Jewelcrafting daily. I talked about this last week, but you can make so much gold by flipping the greens used in the daily. Now, Jaspers, for example, I made a video on a few days ago. We bought over 1,000 Jasper for 5 gold each for a disenchanting flip. Now, Jasper was selling for 5 gold each a few days ago. Today it's used in a Jewelcrafting daily, and going to the auction house right now, Jaspers are selling for over 18 gold on my server, because they are now used in the daily. So somebody took it upon themselves to buy out all the Jaspers, flip the auction house, and people are buying them. I have joined this market myself to try to sell some Jaspers, and they are absolutely flying off the auction house. In this case, my advice would be this: buy up, like either wake up early and take a look at what's like, wake up early or stay up late, and the second the daily's reset, you take a look at what's in the daily for today, then you buy out the entire market. Now, if you don't want to do that, you can also just buy all the green gems when they're cheap, hold them in your bags, be patient, wait for them to be used in a daily, and then you sell them for expensive. Alternatively, you can even take a look at the price of Elementium ore on your server, and then prospect. If Elementium ore is super cheap, like it was on my server, you can buy a bunch of Elementium ore, prospect the ore, keep the green gems, and sell the green gems when they're used in a daily. Just put them all in the guild bank, in your personal bank, whatever you want to. Just put them for storage, and then when they're used in a daily, you can then suddenly just offload everything and try to be smart and just sell them all. Elementium ore, for example, on my server is 2.4 gold, and my prospecting value based on the spreadsheet is 4.8. So I'm doubling my gold by buying Elementium right now and prospecting, making a bunch of gold right there. So if Elementium is cheap on your server, definitely consider doing the same. Even if you if you have Jewelcrafting, you can make even more gold by cutting the rare gems as well. So my prospecting value is 4.8. When I'm selling the materials as they are, I make even more gold by actually just cutting the gems and selling them as their better cut versions. Either way, I wanted to make a video today talking more about gold making and talking about gold making past the honeymoon phase, where you can't just go out there and farm anything and make 15,000 gold per hour anymore. You have to be a little bit more smart about it, and it's definitely the time right now to set up alts for passive gold making. If you have those tailors, if you have those alchemists, if you have those jewel crafters, skill them up, because materials are so cheap right now anyway, that you can skill up professions super cheap and start raking in profits every single day. You can log on and get a WoW token almost on a daily basis. It depends on how many alts you have, obviously, but the thing is, profession alts only have to be level 75 as well. It's a really good way to set yourself up for success right now, and you can keep making gold through the entire expansion by doing this. Either way, that is pretty much what I have for you today, so if you have any additional ways to make gold, let me know in the comments down below. Once again, I also just recently uploaded a video on what I think is the best gold farm in Cataclysm, so check that out if you haven't already, and we have a bunch more farming videos on my channel as well, helping you make gold in the best ways that I can, trying to find the best ways to farm gold and sharing them with you guys. So if you're enjoying that, please remember to subscribe to the channel. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like on it as well. And that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching as always. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you again in the next video very soon.